What if your nightmares weren't just dreams, but warnings of a death that's been hunting your family for generations? In Final Destination, Bloodlines, one terrifying vision leads to a chilling truth: death never forgets, and it's coming back to finish what it started. From falling skyscrapers to exploding barbecues, this isn't just survival, it's a deadly countdown. Stay tuned because this story is more than just bloodlines, it's fate. So let's dive straight into the movie. The movie starts in the year 1969. Paul is taking his girlfriend Iris on a date to a new tall restaurant called Skyview. Iris feels scared because the restaurant is so high up, and while they're waiting for the elevator, she sees a little boy stealing a penny from a fountain where people make wishes. In the elevator, the same boy tries to scare Iris by jumping hard on the glass floor of the elevator, which makes her more nervous. At the restaurant, a bartender opens a wine bottle, and the cap flies into a chandelier. A small piece of glass falls from the chandelier and causes a crack in the thick glass floor. This makes Iris even more uneasy, so she goes to the bathroom and throws up. She's a few months pregnant. While she's in the bathroom, a woman singer tells her son to wait outside. The singer sees Iris and congratulates her when she realizes she's pregnant. Iris hasn't told Paul yet and feels nervous, but the singer tells her to go after her happiness. Paul later takes Iris to the observation deck at the top of the building and asks her to marry him. Iris tells Paul she's pregnant, and instead of being upset, he's really happy. Iris says yes to his proposal. At the same time, the mischievous boy is still causing trouble. He's throwing pennies from the top of the building. One of the pennies falls into a vent. A fan inside the vent shoots the penny into a part of the building that causes gas to leak into the restaurant. Iris and Paul are happy after getting engaged. They start dancing together on the glass dance floor with many other people in the restaurant. But suddenly, something terrible happens. The glass floor breaks and many people fall through it from the tall building. Paul is one of them and he dies. Then, things get even worse. There's an open flame in the restaurant, and when it comes into contact with the leaking gas, it causes a big explosion. The explosion sets several people on fire. Iris tries to escape, but it's very hard. She faces many dangers. The elevator is too full and crashes down. One man is cut in half. The stairs fall apart while people are running down them. Parts of the building start to collapse, pushing people against the glass windows. Meanwhile, the penny that the little boy threw earlier lands on a piano. This causes the piano to fall and crush a woman and crash into the windows, killing most of the people still alive. The same boy who threw the penny looks like he escaped, but the falling piano crushes him too. Iris then notices the singer's young son is still alive. She risks everything and moves through the falling building to try and save him. As they're trying to get away, the floor breaks even more, and they are left hanging from a broken piece of concrete. Iris's engagement ring gets stuck on part of the building, and the weight of her and the boy hanging pulls so hard that it rips the skin off her finger. This causes both of them to fall. The boy dies right before the end, and Iris falls onto a sharp piece of glass, which kills her by going through her mouth. Suddenly, everything cuts to the present day. We see a girl named Stephanie Reyes screaming in horror. She just saw all of this as a vision, a nightmare she's been having over and over again. It's affecting her badly and making her fail in school. She figures out that Iris, the woman in the nightmare, is actually her long-lost grandmother. After her roommate encourages her, Stephanie decides to take a break from school and go back home to learn the truth about what's going on. Stephanie goes back home and sees her family again. She is reunited with her father, Marty, and her younger brother, Charlie. But things are not easy. When Stephanie asks her father about Iris, he doesn't want to talk about her. He still feels angry because he believes Iris is the reason why Stephanie's mother, Darlene, left their family long ago. Charlie, her brother, is also not very happy to see her. He feels hurt because Stephanie never kept in touch after she went away to college. Instead of being close to Stephanie, Charlie has become closer to their cousins. Stephanie realizes she's missed out on a lot, and her brother feels more connected to the cousins now. Later, Stephanie talks to her Uncle Howard and Aunt Brenda to learn more about Iris. Howard becomes very angry. He says that when he and Darlene were younger, Iris's fear of death after surviving a horrible disaster made life very hard. Iris was always scared, and that fear hurt her children emotionally after her husband Paul died. Later on, Aunt Brenda helps Stephanie secretly. She gives her a box full of letters that Iris had written to warn the family about something, about death coming after them. Using the letters, Stefani tracks Iris down. Iris has been hiding in a strong, locked building for over 20 years. Now she is very sick with cancer and near the end of her life. Iris shows Stefani a notebook she has kept for years. Inside are notes and details about strange deadly events she has studied, like a big car crash on Route 23 and a plane crash. Iris tells Stefani that after she saw the vision many years ago, she saved everyone from dying. But now death is coming back to finish what it started, and it's going after their family one by one. Iris wants Stefani to stay with her inside the locked building to be safe, but Stefani gets scared and tries to run away. Even though she's weak and afraid, Iris chases after her to give her the notebook with all her research. Right after giving it to her, death strikes again, a fire extinguisher suddenly explodes, and a sharp weather vane flies through the air and hits Iris in the head, killing her instantly. At Iris's funeral, Stefani's mother, Darlene, shows up. She now lives in an RV and moves from one trailer park to another. Stefani is very angry to see her. She feels hurt and upset because Darlene left her and Charlie when they were just kids. Charlie also speaks up, saying Stefani is no better. She left him too when she went away to college and never checked in. After the funeral, the Campbell family hosts a memorial barbecue at their house. Darlene joins them. During the gathering, Howard tries to get Darlene to stay with them instead of living on the road, but she says no. Later, Howard gathers everyone to make a toast. He tells them to enjoy the time they have together because life is short and unpredictable. But as the barbecue goes on, strange and dangerous things start to happen. A gas tank isn't working properly and almost catches fire near Eric. Bobby is jumping on a trampoline, but no one notices that there's a sharp rake lying underneath it. A broken piece of glass falls into someone's drink, which could easily hurt someone if they drank it. Darlene sees the rake and moves it away, thinking she fixed the danger. But at the same time, an open beer bottle called Heiss Pale Ale tips over, and the liquid causes a garden hose to suddenly swell and get pressurized. While all this is going on, Stefani is still at home. She starts reading through Iris's notebook again and suddenly feels that death is nearby. A gust of wind knocks a family photo off the wall, and a single piece of broken glass lands in front of her, a sign that something bad is about to happen. Realizing her family is in danger, Stefani rushes to the barbecue. But she gets there too late. The trampoline suddenly tears apart with Bobby on it, sending him falling. The shard of glass from earlier lands with the sharp edge pointing up. Howard accidentally steps on it and it cuts deep into his foot. At that exact moment, the pressure from the hose causes the rake to fall. The rake lands on a lawnmower, which switches on and drives straight into Howard's face, killing him in a gruesome accident. After Howard's funeral, Stefani gathers the family together. She wants to talk to them about the notes that Iris left behind. She explains that for many years, death has been going after everyone who survived the Skyview disaster, people who were supposed to die but didn't because Iris saved them after her vision. Now death is coming after Iris's blood relatives, like Stefani and her family, one by one in a specific order because they were never meant to be born. The Campbell family, still upset and grieving from Howard's death, get angry at Stefani. They think what she's saying is crazy and hurtful. They walk out on her, refusing to listen. Later that night, Eric is closing up the tattoo parlor where he works. A dangerous chain of events starts, literally. A fan gets tangled up in some hanging chains, which then pull on Eric's nose ring. This causes him to fall backward into a fire that starts because of spilled isopropyl alcohol. It looks like he's going to die, but luckily he's wearing a leather jacket, and it protects him from the flames. He survives. Stefani and Charlie rush to find him, relieved that he's okay. Stefani tries to warn him about death and explain what's going on. But Eric laughs it off and doesn't believe her, even when an ambulance nearly hits him moments later. Julia then tells Stefani to leave everyone alone. But just then, something terrible happens. A group of kids nearby accidentally kicks a soccer ball that hits Julia in the head. She falls into a big garbage bin. A garbage truck picks up the bin without noticing she's inside and dumps it into the compactor. Stefani tries desperately to save her, but she's too late. The machine crushes Julia's head. Now the family finally believes Stefani. The deaths are too strange and violent to be accidents. Stefani is still confused about why Eric survived when it seemed like it was his turn. Then Aunt Brenda shares a secret. Eric isn't actually Howard's biological son. That means death skipped him because he's not part of Iris's bloodline. With that clue, Stefani, Charlie, Darlene, and Bobby decide to track down someone named JB, a person mentioned in Iris's notes who works at a hospital. They think JB might be the next target or hold important answers. Eric, now taking things more seriously, decides to come along too, not for himself but to help keep Bobby safe. As they all travel together, Stefani and her mother Darlene start talking and slowly begin to heal their relationship, finally starting to understand each other. At the hospital, the person they were looking for, JB, turns out to be William John Bloodworth. He is actually the son of the singer that Iris saved during the Skyview disaster all those years ago. Over time, he and Iris became close friends and worked together to study how death works and how it follows people who were supposed to die but survived. Bloodworth explains to the family how death's list works. He says that if someone escapes death, death will come back for them in the same order they were meant to die. But there are only two known ways to escape the list. 1. Kill someone else and take over the rest of their life. 2. Die and be brought back to life. Bloodworth also shares that he, like Iris, is dying from cancer, and he knows that his time is coming soon. He decides to retire from his job at the hospital. Before leaving, he wishes the family good luck and tells them to make the most of whatever time they have left. Meanwhile, while Stefani, Charlie, and Darlene are talking about what to do next, Eric and Bobby sneak away inside the hospital to try something on their own. At first, they joke about killing someone to survive, even mentioning a baby, but they quickly realize that's not an option. Then Eric comes up with another idea. Bobby has a severe peanut allergy. If he eats peanuts and almost dies, they can try to revive him at the hospital. That way, Bobby might beat death by dying and coming back. They go to a vending machine to get peanut butter cups, but the machine gets stuck. Eric breaks the glass trying to get the candy out. Then both of them go into a nearby MRI room, not realizing the machine is still on. Bobby eats the peanut butter cup to trigger his allergy. But just then, the powerful magnet in the MRI machine turns on. It starts pulling anything metal nearby. The magnetic force rips all of Eric's piercings out of his body, and a metal wheelchair flies toward him, crushing him inside the MRI machine, killing him instantly. Bobby, now struggling to breathe, crawls to Eric's body and finds his EpiPen. He manages to stab himself just in time to stop the allergic reaction. But as he does, a nurse walks into the room, and that small motion causes the metal coil from the vending machine that Eric had broken earlier to fly through the air, and it stabs Bobby in the head, killing him instantly. At that moment, Stefani, Charlie, and Darlene arrive, just in time to witness the horrible scene. Meanwhile, in another part of the hospital, an older woman picks up a coin that looks just like the one that had caused the Skyview disaster many years ago, hinting that death's cycle may be starting again. Now, only 3 family members are left: Stefani, her brother Charlie, and their mother Darlene. Darlene makes a brave decision. She says she will lock herself inside Iris's compound, the secure place Iris had lived in for over 20 years. Her plan is to stay there and hide from death until she dies naturally, so that Stefani and Charlie can live their lives safely. To get inside the locked compound, they use Darlene's RV to crash through the gate. But just as they break in, something goes wrong. A broken light sparks and causes a huge explosion at the compound. Stefani gets stuck in her seat because the seatbelt is jammed. Charlie is also trapped under heavy debris. Darlene acts quickly, freeing Charlie from the wreckage. But right after she saves him, a lamppost falls on her and crushes her, killing her instantly. Then things get worse. Stefani appears to drown, trapped inside the RV. But Charlie doesn't give up. He manages to revive her, saving her life. The 2 siblings hug, feeling like they've finally beaten death. A few days later, life seems to be back to normal. Stefani is getting ready to go back to college, and she helps Charlie get ready to take his date to prom. Everything seems calm. At the same time, we see the older woman from the hospital again. She's trying to buy cookies, accidentally drops the penny, which flies and lands on a train track, just like how the penny caused the disaster at Skyview. Stefani and Charlie suddenly remember something important. Being revived doesn't count as cheating death unless your heart actually stops. That means Stefani wasn't really dead, so death may still be after her. Stefani begins seeing signs that remind her of Iris's vision, the Skyview vision. Then, out of nowhere, a train derails and starts coming right at them. The siblings run for their lives and just barely avoid being hit by the train. But right when they think they're safe, logs from the top of a nearby pile come crashing down, and they fall onto Stefani and Charlie, killing them both. As the movie ends, the credits roll. We see newspaper clippings showing all the terrible accidents that happened to the survivors of the Skyview premonition over the years. One by one, death got them all. The movie ends with an obituary for Stefani and Charlie. The final scene is a tribute, in memory of Tony Todd, the actor who played William Bloodworth in the series. By this, the movie ends in here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.